are at the Bandelier National Monument in New Mexico near Los Alamos. So Linda says these are Indian dwellings that we're going to see in a minute. We've already seen some up in the mountains up there, up in the side of the canyon face. Looks like the surface is pretty soft. The rocks are soft, so you can dig in and dig little rooms in. I'll show you a picture right here. This is an Indian Longhouse, and it's about, I would say, 20 feet in diameter, something like that. That slot over there. So let's go back a step. These would have been posts that would have held up or supported beams, and these two wooden stake beam things here would have gone right the way across. So it would have had a flat type of roof, or close to a flat type roof, and you would have entered through a ladder through the ceiling into the main room area. That would have been the fire in there, and this would have allowed air in to feed the fire. And I've not seen this before. This is quite interesting. Anyway, we're going to go see some more that are more complete. I'm hoping that they'll have a roof on them too. We'll see. This is quite a peaceful place, even with it being a kind of visitor centre, a national monument where lots of people come. So even with people around, it seems pretty peaceful and quiet. And it would have been, I reckon it would have been just fantastic a couple of 100 years ago. Jeff's Jodie's uncle, saying that these pueblos or houses would have not had any windows in them, and there were lots of little rooms, as you can see, and they were built primarily as protection from not just other villagers but from grizzly bears. Apparently at that particular point there were silverback grizzly bears which would weigh up to 3,000 pounds, which is about 1.5 tons, which is that's a massive bear. And so the bears would have attacked the camp looking for food, and these walls aided some protection, and the bear was they could attack the bear from the rooftops because the entrance in and out of the rooms was through a skylight in the roof. And that was also, so there was a ladder up through the roof, and also that was the exit for the smoke for the ladders. It goes without saying that people who lived in this time didn't live to a very old age.
Somewhere like that.
So the tufa is just a type of rock?
Yeah, it's a very soft volcanic solidified ash.
Okay, and that's what makes it easy enough to dig into and dig their houses. Well, look,
We're
they've got.
Go see up there, yeah.
So these were actually volcanic rocks, then, or volcanoes were.
Yeah.
There you go. That gives an idea. There's some people down there. It gives you an idea of the size of that communal area. So the Indians would have lived here. They got little roofs on them, little rooms. Whoa! And in there, and there's another room in there. Look, that's pretty cool. I wonder how watertight this place would be. Well, better than being out in the storm, I suppose. Another little room here. This is about 10 feet long by about 4 feet wide, and then you go through there to another room. These tiny little rooms chiseled into the rock face. It's quite a labyrinth of pathways and little cubby holes, and the black obviously would have been the fire, soot from the fires. There's another one in there. There's multiple holes up there. I suppose if you needed shelter from the elements and from wildlife, this would have been a pretty nice solution. Yeah, I don't know how high up they go, but And they would have used little wooden ladders, I think, and they wouldn't have had guardrails, of course, health and safety. That's a big room up there. That's the master suite up there. Can you go through to that other one or not? No. Oh yeah, gosh, you can get through there. That's the ensuite there.
This is Mommy's room.
Ha This would be a cool set for a Star Wars movie. So we've seen a fair few Indian cliff dwellings, but it's quite unusual to be able to get inside and actually walk in amongst where they would have lived and slept. So this is Bandelier is quite a unique experience. Yeah, this is a pretty cool place. There you go, more dwellings down there. And it is more likely that the other dwellings that we looked at would have been bricked up at the front like this one is here. But time has taken its toll on those, and the bricks are long gone. We're going up into this big one here. It was a well-known fact that the Indians were the first to use these stainless steel dome-headed nuts. That's a pretty cool little view when you come out in the morning. There's more dwellings up there.
Oh yeah. Where's mine going?
They definitely had wood beams all along this.
Yeah, you can see that, can't you? Mm-hmm. And then you think that the fronts have just eroded off?
Yes. They're laying here.
So there would have been a lot of rooms right here, probably 3 stories high. There's one level here, and another level here, and then there would have been access to these upper rooms here. So it would have been a fair complex right here if you look down where the walls are. Quite a big old apartment block. Down here, this all this wood debris is from a flash flood that would have come through this whole valley here. They've got a video in the visitor centre. Wow, look at that! That's a huge pile of wood there, and that's all been brought down by the water, the flash flooding. One thing's for sure. I mean, hundreds of years ago, there would have been people here, and they would have lived a very different life to us. I don't exactly know what the timetable for the day would have been, but I would imagine collecting firewood, getting food, picking berries, and all that kind of good stuff. Certainly wouldn't have been a trip down to Burger King or Mackie D's. The guy in the visitor centre, one of the visitors, asked the ranger, the female ranger, that what's the shooting restrictions here? And she said no shooting whatsoever. And then she said even if a bear is chasing you, you'll be fined if you shoot even then. And I was thinking, blimey, I think I'd rather face the fine than be some bear's lunch ticket. Anyhow, the advice is apparently to run. If you see a bear, run. And I've got my fast shoes on today, so as long as I can outrun whoever's next to me, I'll be alright. It's most likely that the houses or the homes here would have only been used in the winter, that the Indians would have come down to this area to take shelter from the weather, because it would have been a lot milder here. And that up on the tops of the canyons, up on the flatter lands, they would have farmed and had their food sources. because the number of people here would not have been able to sustain themselves on food provided from this particular little area here. There's just too many people, and so that gives rise to the theory that this would have just been a winter hideout, or a place where they would have come for the worst of the weather. Lunchtime for him. Or her. So where I am here, which is in the valley floor, up in those faces there, those rock faces, can you see the ladders up there? And there's people climbing them. It looks like right up there, which has got to be a good 40-50 meters, 120, 150 feet up there, looks like other dwellings. Just about see some people up there if you look very carefully. Let me zoom in for you. That's a fair way up there. I can hear my tribe over there somewhere. There's the first one. Wow, this would have been a cool pathway back in the day. You can still tell my body's not adjusted to the altitude yet. I'm out of breath and I've hardly done anything. This is a view from about halfway up. Nice little river, stream, creek. You take your pick. I've got to wait for people to come down before I can go up. This is the second stage. This is stage 3. One little bit to go. Better not climb up here. Oh, this will be the bit that I fall off, wouldn't it? And this is the 4th stage, the top. Wow, it's a big open cavern here. And an open doorway through there. The rooms. It's pretty big up here. I'm not a big fan of heights, as you might have guessed from the Grand Canyon thing. So going down those stairs is going to be slightly scary. My turn now. I think going up was actually scarier than coming down. Anyway, it is still, after nearly 3 weeks here, at the higher elevation, I do still find that it's not easy to get your breath. I think it's 1.25 miles from sea level. So when you think of it like that, that's a long way up, you know. That was the end of our little tour around Bandelier in the Frijoles Canyon, New Mexico, near Santa Fe, about an hour from Santa Fe.